Hey, honey, it's your girl Brianna J, and this is Break Free From Yourself podcast. This podcast is my precious baby that is centered around self reflection and self love. It's about a young woman's journey, me, of course, to find inner peace, but also realizing that sometimes she can play a role in holding herself back from that peace. This is going to be a space where I'll be real with y'all, but I'll also be real with myself. Listen, I know I'm not the only one that can hold themselves back from that greatness that they're supposed to be. Maybe y'all will be able to relate and we can get through this journey together. So let's take a walk together, hun. Hey, honeys, it's your girl Brianna J, and welcome back to another episode of Break Free From Yourself podcast. And if you didn't know, now you know. Your girl done up and did a big girl move. Houston, we have a problem.
Look out! Look out! Look out! She was a new girl in town.
Coming to this moment has been freeing and liberating, but also scary and bittersweet. I left my comfort zone, but I left with the purpose, and the intent is still there. But I got to talk about being the new girl in town again. I did not realize until pulling an 8-hour shift on the phone call with my best friend that I've been the new girl in town multiple times in my life. Obviously, I was aware that I'd moved a few times in my lifetime, but that conversation gave me so much insight on the world outside of myself. Disclaimer: I cried for about 2 hours on this call because this heifer wanted to open up the door on the dark abyss at midnight. Like, girl, we should definitely be asleep, and you bringing up these things that I had not remembered in years. What's going on with that? The way this conversation started is that she was really confused about how we were in each other's orbit for years before we actually became friends. And now we're in our adult years and we're closer than ever. So then it was relayed to me about how I was perceived around the time that I moved into town at that time. One thing was I talked different, which is just me talking proper. Second, I got a lot of attention. Because of that attention that I got, I wasn't well received by the girls. Baby, this was an instant shock to me, and tears immediately start to form because I'm like, I always made a point to be nice. And I tried to navigate through the quote unquote new kid on the block status. Some of y'all would probably say that that's trying to fit in. And to those of y'all that are yelling that, shut the hell up. I know that, but I worded it the way I wanted to word it, damn it. Anyways, so I ended up asking, what do you mean by attention? And of course, it was attention from the boys. My silent tears turn into an outward cry. And I say, the crazy thing is, I started making friends with the boys because the girls weren't being friendly to me. But now I'm realizing I was Beyonce and I didn't even know it. So this time frame that she referenced, I had probably been the new girl in town at least 3 times prior by that point. And looking back, I always had a struggle with making friends that didn't try to do some shisty shit to you on the side. And these experiences go back as early as kindergarten and first grade. I start crying more because I'm realizing that whether it has been my fault or not, I've had this trauma with trying to make and maintain friends that date back to early childhood. This conversation started about how we were always in orbit, but how we weren't actually connected until later. So she just asked me, well, who were you friends with? And I began to start thinking and naming. And some people that I named, we both came to the conclusion that I may have been their friend, but they weren't mine. And Facebook messy ass be trying to remind me of the fact that these people were not my friends. And it annoys me every memory because it's literal proof of them not being my friends. Honestly, The realization that some of those people weren't my friend in return hurt, and it sucked when it really settled in. I never considered myself bullied, but I did know when I was picked with. Don't ask me, but I feel like there's a difference. Anyways, it never felt good, and I realized that I may need to go back to therapy and unpack some things with the word friendship. I already given you guys some tea on how my early adulthood friendships affected me. So to realize that all this can go back to early childhood, my mind was blown. Unfortunately, I used to accept anything just to say I had a friend, and that's not becoming of the person that I want to be. We've discussed how adulthood and making friends is already hard, but for some reason, my crazy ass always wanted a motherfucking friend. I always said that a friend heartbreak is worse than a heartbreak from a man, except for this one, the one that's gonna take me through. But I digress. I'm getting off topic. We're not talking about that right now. Not sure if this is the last time, but I am once again the new girl in town. I do not want my past experiences to be a factor here. I said that I wanted to make good and genuine friends here. Now, if that's one or two people, I'm cool with that. But I just want it to be genuine and lasting. I've already had some weird encounters that would have y'all gagged, but I'm gonna keep the hope alive because I don't want to give up for some reason. In my head, I've just always valued friendship. In the meantime, I'm learning how to enjoy myself until I find those good and genuine friends. On a positive note, being the new girl in town isn't bad. I moved to a new city, and honestly, it feels so serene. There is a lot to do here, and that can be overwhelming because I'm a homebody, but it's also exciting. I feel like adulthood is just starting for me. The doors have been open for me to get out of my shell. The first month or so, I've just been peeking out that mug, but apparently I'm gonna be outside this summer. So pray for me in this Texas heat because y'all know we celebrating hottie summer. All right, honeys, I just wanted to let y'all know that your girl has made a big move to a bigger city. I'm keeping this episode short and sweet. So happy Friday and don't lose y'all mind celebrating Cinco de Mayo on Sunday Fun Day. Thank you for listening and come back for more episodes of Break Free From Yourself podcast. Bye, honeys. I know y'all didn't forget about Rebel Vision for all your skincare needs. Rebel Vision was created to encourage individuals to embrace self-love by encouraging them to show their body some real body love. We got the body butter, the rose water, the net exfoliators, the black soap, and the liquid black soap. Come and join the Rebel team by following us on Instagram at RBL_VZN and liking our Facebook page, Rebel Vision. To order products for your skincare needs, check out the site www.therebelvision.com. That's www.therebelvzn.com. If you don't already follow my Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter, go ahead and do that at _Brianna J. That is _BRIAUNAJ. TikTok is my best friend, so you can definitely find me on there. Use any of those platforms to comment and let me know what you think or want to hear on the podcast. Bye, honeys. Thank you for listening to Break Free From Yourself podcast. I hope you enjoyed yourself and come back for another episode.